Hey, what's up you guys? Interceptor King here. I am taking this 71 Chevelle Super Sport over to a shop and I'm getting some rack and pinion installed. So this is the old school, what it came with from the factory, and if you see, there's like, look how much play there is in the steering wheel before the vehicle even reacts or moves. That's going to be done away with. It's going to handle a whole lot better when it comes to steering. And there's ruts on the highway right here. The ruts in the highway, like when you hit them just right, it'll pull the car off to the side and you'll go to adjust, but it takes a second for it to register that you're turning the wheel the other way because it's so loose. So, and when you hit like a dip in the highway, it'll kind of move over to the side a little bit. So that's going to all be done with. Eventually I'm going to do all new suspension, tubular arms. That kit's like $4,000 just for the kit, and then, you know, whatever it costs for labor if you take it to a shop to have it done. So yeah, I've had this vehicle for about 12, I think I've had it for 12 years now. Actually bought this from my wife's dad. And it needed all kinds of work to it. So we had the engine rebuilt, we had it repainted, and the engine rebuilt, new bumpers, chrome bumpers. And there's so much more to do to this thing, man. I mean, by the time you were done, if you did everything perfect, you'd probably have $100,000 into this car. So anyways, the value of these is ridiculous right now. It's like, high retails like $88,000. This has the 454 big block. It's a LS5 454 big block that came from the factory with 365 horsepower. And when we had it rebuilt, we just, you know, it's got a little more horsepower than it did originally from the factory with the rebuild. I mean, everybody does that, right? Why put it exactly back to where it was if you're rebuilding the whole thing? But anyways, this thing was built in Van Nuys, California. We dropped the gas tank a few years back. It wouldn't start, and the fuel line actually it got so corroded and old that it pancaked on itself. So when the fuel pump kicked in, the fuel line just went like that and blocked off the fuel. So we had to replace the rubber part that goes from the back of the gas tank to where the rest of the fuel line is. And when we dropped the gas tank, the original build sheet was on top of the gas tank of this vehicle, and it had been there for 39, 40 years or something like that, which is incredible. So now it's framed and it's in it's in a very safe place, locked up where light doesn't get on it, and that was pretty interesting. We also have all the receipts from back in, I think her dad bought this in 94 or 96, somewhere back in the 90s. And we've got all the receipts and everything from when he bought it, and stuff from car shows, and, you know, plaques and trophies and all that stuff. So super fun car, 454 big block. It's got a 3-speed automatic. It came with the factory bench front seat is how it was ordered. Came from the factory with the black race stripes. It was yellow. It was like sunflower yellow. It might be what the color was, but this is a much more vibrant, bright yellow. This is actually a paint from the 90s, and it's a Ford paint. So it's got Ford paint. I guess Ford had better colors back in the 90s than Chevrolet did. So anyways, this is my wife's personal vehicle. Well, my wife's. So yeah, getting the rack and pinion put on it, new valve covers, and a new little heat shield for the wire that goes to the starter. That's the wire is close to the headers on this vehicle, and what about 8 years I put a new wire for the starter and a heat shield, and it worked great for 8 years. But this last summer on a hot day, it did that same thing that it did when it was really hot under the hood after parking it for about 5 minutes to get gas, and it didn't want to start again. So just gonna have to replace possibly that wire for the starter, see if I can reroute it somewhere further away from the headers because it's so close to the headers and they get so hot that that wire just doesn't like it. So yep, just thought I'd do a quick little video. It's pretty excited. I haven't done anything significant to this car since we got the exhaust done from the headers all the way back, which was probably 3 years ago now. So all right, you guys take care, be safe, later.